We'll call the meeting to order. Good afternoon, everyone. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Algonquin Highlands is located on Treaty 20 Mississauga territory and in the traditional territory of the Mississauga and Chippewa Nations. Meeting to order. Good afternoon, everyone. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Algonquin Highlands is located on We'll call the meeting to order. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Algonquin Highlands is located on Treaty 20 Mississauga territory and in the traditional territory of the Mississauga and Chippewa Nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nations. We also acknowledge a historical shared presence of other Indigenous nations throughout the area, and we recognize these original inhabitants as the stewards of its lands and waters since time immemorial. The following meeting of the Committee of Adjustment is a public meeting to consider development proposals that don't comply with the provisions of the Township's comprehensive zoning bylaw. My name is Liz Danielson, and I'm the chair of the committee. I'd like to introduce members of the committee. John Rogers, public member. Our other public member, Christine Sharp, is basking on a beach today. Sabrina Richards, councillor for Ward 2. And Fergus McLaren, member from the northern part of our community, as well as John Rogers, public member. Mr. O'Callaghan will provide a brief overview of each application, after which the applicant or their agent will have an opportunity to address the committee. Following this, anyone else who wishes to speak to the application, either in support or against, will be given the opportunity to do so. The committee will then discuss a proposal and be given the opportunity to ask questions of both our planner and the applicant. The committee will then vote to grant, refuse, or defer the proposal. Could I have a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda? Councillor Richards, Mr. McLaren. Could I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of November 28th?
Sorry, I'll just read the resolution for the agenda.
Sorry, getting ahead of myself.
Moved by Sabrina Richards, second by Fergus McLaren. Be it resolved, the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves as circulated the meeting agenda of February 20th, 2026.
All in favor? That's carried. Mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of November the 28th. Member Rogers, Member McLaren.
Moved by John Rogers, second by Fergus McLaren. Be it resolved, the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves as circulated the meeting minutes of November 28th, 2025.
All in favor? That's carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof today? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. We have one application today for a minor variance by Rob Rick on Cushog Lake.
This property is located at 2044 Cushog Lake Road. The lands are zoned shoreline residential 1 and environmental protection and designated waterfront in the official plan. The property is approximately 1.43 acres in area with 82 meters of frontage on Cushog Lake. Surrounding uses are generally shoreline residential, and the lands are currently developed with a dwelling, detached garage, shed, and a dock. The applicants are proposing to construct a 435 square foot 2-story addition to the dwelling. The proposed dwelling addition will be constructed in the same general footprint as an existing deck and expand towards the front of the property. Existing topographical constraints along with site infrastructure, including the driveway, do restrict the available building location for the proposed addition that would comply with the zoning bylaw. The proposal requires the following variance, and that's from section 4.14.9I to increase the maximum gross floor area permitted from 0% to 33% for the purpose of constructing a 435 square foot 2-story addition. Notice of the application was posted on the property, posted on the township website, circulated to property owners within 60 meters of the subject lands, to the County of Haliburton and to the Cushog Lake Property Owners Association. No objections have been received and staff are recommending approval of the proposed minor variance with the following conditions. One, confirmation be provided from an Ontario land surveyor that the proposed dwelling addition is not located closer than 4.1 meters from the high water mark prior to any clearing, site alteration, or the issuance of a building permit. Two, any on-site sewage system permits and reviews required by the township have been obtained and approved prior to the issuance of a building permit. And three, that appropriate construction mitigation measures be implemented, including the erection and maintenance of silt fencing between the proposed building and the shoreline.
Do members of the committee have any questions for Mr. O'Callaghan? Hearing none, I believe the applicant is present. Would you like to speak to your application? Is there anything that you'd like to add? Is there anyone else here that wishes to speak to the application or online who wishes to speak to the application? Hearing none, I guess if there's no further questions or information, could I have a mover and a seconder to grant approval to the application? Member Rogers, Member Richards.
Moved by John Rogers, second by Sabrina Richards, be it resolved, the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves minor variance application AHMV 00526 to seek relief from section 4.14.9I of the zoning bylaw to increase the maximum gross floor area permitted from 0% to 33% for the purpose of constructing a 435 square foot two-story addition, subject to the following conditions. One, that confirmation be provided from an Ontario land surveyor that the proposed dwelling addition is not located closer than 4.1 meters from the high water mark prior to any clearing, site alteration, or the issuance of a building permit. Two, any on-site sewage system permits and reviews required by the township have been obtained and approved prior to the issuance of a building permit. And three, that appropriate construction mitigation measures be implemented, including the erection and maintenance of silt fencing between the proposed building and the shoreline.
All in favor? That's carried. I hope your project goes well. Keep in mind, there is an appeal period, so no construction until after that time is over. Is it 20 days?
Yes, fine.
20 days. Not that you're gonna rush out and start building in the winter.
So after 20 days, the permit can be issued after the building department completes their review of the permit submission. Yep. There are the conditions that you do have to fulfill. So perhaps we can speak after the meeting and I can detail how you can go through all those.
So there is no further business other than scheduling our next meeting. What date are you suggesting for that?
So on the agenda, we are proposing some meeting dates up until September, that date, which last meeting.
Okay.
So unless there's certain dates that are proposed, we will schedule those.
Can you just tell me if I'm for the March date?
The March date is March 27th.
Any issues with that? Okay. But I'll have a mover and a second. Sorry, go ahead, please.
If this committee, once the election is held, it becomes Compass, is that correct?
I'll have to seek clarification on that, but because, yeah, the committee of adjustment bylaw for our township requires 2 members of council to be members of the committee. I don't believe we'll be able to sit totally.
Thank you.
Mover and a second or to adjourn. Councilor Richards, Member McLaren.
Moved by Sabrina Richards, seconded by Fergus McLaren. Be it resolved, the Committee of Adjustment hereby adjourns its regular meeting at 1:09 p.m.
All in favor? Thank you.